All right, guys, so this is the MT-410 2.0. This is a 10-scale monster truck, four-wheel drive, $449.99, comes in kit form. Now, the previous version was a 1.0. It happened to be an 8-scale car. They downsized it to 10-scale. Some people are happy about that. Some people are not. It's controversial. Tekno claims they're working on a different MT-410 for the future. Who knows what's going to be, but this right now is one of the best 110 scale monster trucks on the planet. There is no argument on that. The interesting thing, though, I have to admit to you, I went and looked at a whole bunch of videos on the internet about this car. You have a lot of content creators that just put together some really interesting cars that I was not impressed with. So they took one of the best platforms out there. A lot of them, every video I've actually seen, people put on tires that were not belted. They put on these powerful motors. Some people ran 4S, and all you see is a beautiful chassis just with ballooning tires on it. You see the car twisting and contorting in weird ways. I mean, just odd handling, weird jump behavior. I have no idea what people are doing. Honestly, really baffling to me, honestly. And then the other part of it was they were putting on these really ugly bodies. Now, Tekno doesn't make a body for this car. In their own ad, they use a really ugly Jeep body. I'm not sure what that's about, and they put Dumonts on there. Dumont is basically a non-belted Proline tire that has a pointy or high-profile tractor design, so very unstable under straight and also under cornering, just not a really precise tire. Not sure what that was about either. The marketing behind this wasn't that great. So what did I decide to do? I decided to put together a car that is worthy of the Tekno chassis, and this is it. We're going to be offering this as a custom build for people on our website. Whoever wants to buy this is going to be a price with different options. As you see it here, it looks amazing. We chose the right body for this car. Now, the body that we chose is from the Arrma Big Rock 3S. If you look at the profile of the body, it fits the chassis perfectly. The side of the bottom of the chassis, there's no weird overhang on the front and the rear of the car. It's absolutely perfect. Aerodynamically, visually, it's beautiful. All the angular cuts on the body, just very nice. We added our own wing here. That's going to come with the custom version. It adds a little downforce to the rear, makes it a little bit nicer. And let's talk about what I dislike so much about the other cars on the internet, which is the tires. So the Louise RC tire, the MT Cyclone, it's their 2.8 car. It has an MFT technology in it, which is a woven belted material that goes inside the tire, does not allow the car to balloon. The second feature of this tire is you have a bead lock on the outer side of the wheel with multiple screws holding it on. You're not going to ever separate the rim from the tire on this one. It complements the precision of the chassis and the suspension. When you're doing jumping, cornering, even in a straight line, your car is going to be 10 times more stable with a tire like this. Now, by the way, just a side note, we actually painted, we took off the wheel rings and painted them body color. We thought it was nice. When you do the custom car and order from me, you can choose one color, and we actually will paint the rings as well. It'll look great. All right, so my top pick for tire and wheel combo is going to be the Proline MX 28 HP 2.8s for this car. This is going to be your highest performing option. These are belted. There is no other tire that's going to handle better than this. They're about a ½ an inch more narrow than the monster truck tire, and they don't need any balancing from the factory. They really come balanced out of the bag, and you're going to be able to run the car harder. It's going to turn better. You're going to be able to control it a lot more. Now, this is going to be more of a basher tire. Believe it or not, most people are into bashing more than actual precision driving, so this is probably going to be the most popular tire for the car. They're terribly unbalanced as they come, and you just add a little clay on the inside of the rim. You could buy balancers online, wheel balancers. If you need help or tips in balancing, you could call me anytime at the hobby shop. We'll let you know how to balance a tire. We're going to balance this. If you buy the kit from us, we balance the tires. You're going to be able to choose which tires you get with the car when we do that custom build. So just letting you know, this is more of a basher tire. It's belted. This also is a belted tire, but it's more of a precision driving tire. I'm going to give some angles just to see. I want you to see how this looks. Looks really nice on the car. Beautiful. So like I said, this is going to be my pick for a really, really hard driving. If you want to push the car to the limits, it's going to be this tire and wheel combo. Let's go through some of the components that I chose, and I'll tell you the reasons why, and I think you might agree with me. The first one is the motor and speed control. We went with a hobby wing combo. It's the Xeron 3660 SD motor. It's a G3 4200 kV we chose for this model, and the Xeron XR8 Pro G3 speed control. That is a 200 amp speed control. Just for perspective, Arma cars that are 8 scale come with 160 amp speed control, and they're definitely more than adequate. This is 200 amps. We went over the top because we don't want any overheating or any problems with the speed control. We don't want any cogging and no weird behavior. The footprint on this is tiny. They claim, Hobbywing claims that this is 15% smaller than the previous generation, and it's just awesome to see in the chassis because it's so small that you can we actually mounted the auto switch next to it and the same ESC plate for a regular speed control. On the motor side, their 3660 is such a powerful motor and a well-designed motor. It offers much more torque, much faster acceleration than the 3650 series motors, and it's the generation 3, so it's running more efficient as well. Usually in my car builds, you can't ever run a 4200 kV motor on a 3S battery. This time we can. Because the new motors and speed controls are running much more efficient and they're more advanced, I'm actually finding that the 4200 is a breath of fresh air. You're getting all that explosive acceleration without the overheating, and we think it's unbelievable. This is going to be a new trend in RC, especially for 10 scale bashers. This car just allows you to take your driving over the top. You don't really have to worry about damaging the car. You can really just throw everything you can at it. And we didn't want to do a 4S setup just because we can get all that power using kV by increasing the RPM without losing the torque on the 3660 motor. So the 4S heavy battery pack that a lot of people are using, we don't like it. We don't want a heavy pack in our car. 4S on a 10 scale chassis tends to be a little bit too heavy. The car gets sloppy, lands a little harsh. The handling, the suspension really can't handle all that weight. So by the way, you can actually run this on 2S as well. You get some nice speed out of it. Now let's talk about the steering servo on this car, which is a very important part of the car. It is the Savox 1270 TGP, and the TGP stands for titanium gears. And it is extremely lightweight, very powerful, very fast. It is 550 ounces of torque on 7.4 volts, which we actually actuated in the speed control on this, on the Xeron XR8. We cranked it up to 7.4 volts and got that 555 ounces of torque. Also, you get 0.11 transit time, super quick. One of the quickest servos that I put in my cars. Beautiful servo. It has a little bit smaller profile than a regular servo. It's a little shorter, a little lighter, but it's a powerhouse and it's perfect for this car. Very precise, returns to center, dead perfect, and it is very accurate. For the battery pack, we want the Power Hobby 100C 5400. A little bit more runtime than a 5000, and it has 100C, so it's going to be kicking ass, and we love it a lot. Now, the bumpers, front and rear of the car, are so stiff and sturdy, you could actually hang the car on either one of them. The wheelie bar, nice. It has big wheels in the back, and they're separated. Unlike other brands where they keep them close together and the car doesn't really track well on a wheelie, this car tracks beautiful on a wheelie, and it performs very well. When Tekno sets their mind to designing any component of a car, they do it right, and the bumpers on this car are first class. Now, on this particular car, the customer wanted to upgrade to the chassis brace because he is going to be doing extreme bashing, so we put it on this. It's $24.99 for that. A beautiful anodized aluminum piece. It's got to go in there. If you're going to do bashing, just buy the part. It's a really good upgrade. Now, the shock collars and the shock caps, they also make an anodized aluminum. We did not put them on this particular car, but if you want a little bit more durability, I guess, or just the bling factor, you can add those to your car, and they're a great addition. Now, if you look at this car, it's a monster truck. Unlike other monster trucks, you can actually set it lower to the ground than the typical monster truck, so that the center of gravity is a little bit better than other trucks, and you kind of see that when you're blasting through the terrain. This car will go faster and drive harder than anything, like I said, in its class. This is the best 10-scale truck four-wheel drive in the world, in my opinion. And if you have the money, I suggest getting one. Now, we have payment options on our website. You can buy this with Shop and do monthly installments if you want to buy this. We're going to offer it in a ready-to-run configuration with battery, radio, everything, charger. And you can basically buy it like that, or you can buy it completely stripped. We hope everybody takes interest in this and takes me up on this. I'm telling you, if you get this car, it's going to drive a lot better than the ready to run that you're used to. You're not going to need to do any upgrades to it. I will guarantee you that there is no upgrade needed for this car at all. It is great. It's going to be great out of the box. It's going to be better and higher performing than anything you've ever used. Speed-wise, handling-wise, durability-wise, any category that you can throw at this, it's just going to beat out whatever you're used to. It's a one and done type of deal. You buy a car like this, it's hard to go back to the stuff that's ready to run. But anyway, this is for people with a little bit extra money, people who have been there and done that. You know, people that kind of like, you know, have a long history in RC and have a lot of models. They want something that's going to just rise to the top, something just a little bit better than what they're used to. Car is 775 aluminum. You have really thick 4mm front and rear shock towers, and the bottom part of the chassis is 4mm as well. The layout in here is absolutely perfect. Let's talk about the shocks on the car. You have a 13mm bore shock with a 16mm spring on it. Just like a beautiful, any other Tekno car, beautiful suspension, very smooth, very linear, and just really very precise. There is no slop in the linkage at all. Now the components on this car are, even though they're 10 scale in size, they are 8 scale in thickness. The turnbuckle thickness, you have the caster blocks, the steering blocks, everything has an 8 scale type of thickness to it, so you have added durability. Now, I just want to talk about one last upgrade of the car, and that's the body mounts. Now, the body mounts that come with it have a center-mounted post here. If you want to buy, they make an upgraded kit where the post is canted forward, or you could reverse it to be canted backward to adjust to your body. I find that every kit that I build, you do need these, the ones that cant a little more forward. They push the body post forward about 4 to 5 millimeters, and for a lot of the bodies that I consider, it usually needs that upgrade. So it's about $10. We have it on our website. We'll put the part numbers below in the links. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on this video of the MT-410 2.0. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will see you on the next review, and have a great day.